Well, hello there. It's DM Nell. I was just here like a minute ago. This is my second video of the day, and the reason I'm doing two videos today is because I had a game that fell through. So that was kind of shitty, but I thought I would make some lemonades out of those lemons and make a second video, and you benefit from this. So, what am I going to talk about this time? Well, I actually wanted to not review, but I wanted to talk about. I don't do reviews because I'm just a guy with an opinion. Why should you listen to my opinion and anybody else's? But I do like to talk about stuff that I like, and I saw something on DriveThruRPG this week that I like a lot, and I wanted to bring it to everybody's attention. So, what did I see? But a new magic system for Shadow of the Demon Lord. This new magic system. Okay, what is this? Get out of here. This new magic system is called Catastrophic Magic, and it replaces the casting system that is it's the system that is um, the default system for Shadow of the Demon Lord. Now, I got to say that I love Shadow of the Demon Lord, but I was never in love with the magic system. The magic system seemed a little out of sync with the game. It also seemed a little bit gamey. It really doesn't make any sense that you are able that you know some spells and you're able to cast each spell that you know a certain number of times, but then you can't cast them anymore. Why? That makes no sense whatsoever to me. So, I just kind of went along with it because I didn't feel like trying to come up with a better magic system, and it works. So, I just didn't really think about it too much until I saw this. Now, this is out there on our DriveThruRPG, as I mentioned, and I believe it's $3.99, and it's produced by RA Press, which is a third-party publisher under the Disciples of the Demon Lord. And so when I saw this, I had to check it out. And I'm so glad that I did because it is a very flavorful magic system and it fits perfectly with the feel of Shadow of the Demon Lord. Much better than the inherent magic system that is already in the game. And I hate saying that because, like I said, I love Shadow of the Demon Lord, but I got to give credit where credit is due, and that credit is right here. This magic system rocks. Now, with the caveat of I've not actually seen it in play, I've not actually used it with a character. I've not seen a character use it as of yet. So I'm just going by what's written on the page, and what's written on the page I like a lot. So, what is the system? Why is it so great? Well, I'm going to try to remember this, go through this by memory because I don't want to share any of the actual content from this PDF. Because if you are interested, I think you should go out and buy it and not, pilfer screenshots from my video. But the baseline of this magic system is that any spell that you can cast. There are no castings. You can just cast it. But in order to cast it properly, you have to make a casting challenge roll. Now, the casting challenge roll is based off of um, your power score. So when you do your casting challenge roll, you don't incorporate your primary ability score for the magic that you are using, which is typically either your intelligence or your willpower. Instead, you use your power score. So you would roll a d20 and you would add your power score, but you also have to subtract the rank of the spell you're trying to cast. This represents the fact that the higher the rank of the spell, the harder it is to cast. I love that. So it also represents that the higher your power is, the easier it is for you to cast a spell. So the challenge roll is just like any other challenge roll. You roll a d20, and again, you add your power score, but then you subtract the rank of the spell that you're trying to cast. Now, what happens next depends on what you roll. If you roll anywhere between 10 and 19, then the spell is cast normally and you don't lose the spell. You can cast it again. And you can keep casting it as long as you succeed on your challenge roll. If you roll a 20 plus, then not only do you cast a spell and not only do you get to keep it, but you can also get a boon on any subsequent rolls that you need to make as a part of casting that spell. So let's say that normally when you cast that spell, you have to do an attack roll. You get a boon on that attack roll after you do the challenge roll and roll 20 plus. So that's a really cool aspect of the challenge roll, reflecting that not only were you able to draw on this magical power and cast it perfectly, but you nailed it. And by virtue of the fact that you nailed it, that subsequent roll that you have to make on that for that spell, attack roll or whatever, gets that boon added to it. So, what happens when you fail a challenge roll? This is where it gets interesting. When you fail a challenge roll, it depends on how badly you fail it. So, if you fail it by rolling a 1 to a 9, then there's a miscast table that you have to roll on. And that just results in some bad things happening. Not too terribly bad, but bad enough. Typically, the spell is not cast or you lose it or something like that. However, if the result of your challenge roll is 0 or lower, that's when things get super interesting because then you have to roll on a catastrophic table. And there are 3 catastrophic tables. There's a minor, a major, and a greater. And so the minor is where you would start. And actually, I think there's a table that you have to roll on. Let me see real quick. I think there's a table you have to roll on in order to determine which. Yeah, you make a fate roll to determine which table you roll on, and so that determines how badly you fucked up. And the minor one isn't as bad as the major one. The major one isn't as bad as the greater one. The greater one is the one that you really screwed up, and super bad things can happen. The catastrophe table is also broken into 2 categories. One is arcane, so that is reserved for more arcane wizards, sorcerers, warlocks, that sort of thing. And then divine, and that is reserved for characters who draw their power from the divine, gods, elementals, whatever. So there's some flavor there as well. And so that represents that the fact that you did it really poorly in casting the spell, and something bad happens as a result. Um, so there are other things in this magic system that are also included, such as some meta magic stuff. You can increase the damage of a spell. You can increase the distance of the spell or how long it lasts. So there's meta magic added into the system. There's also a way that um, you can cast any spell for a tradition that you know. There's a risk involved in doing that, but it not only enables you to cast spells that you know, you can actually try to cast a spell that you know exists because it's in your tradition, but you haven't mastered it. And so I love that. I just love how the system allows you to branch out, uh, take the risk if it's worth taking, and cast a spell that is in your tradition, but you haven't mastered it. That is genius. I love that stuff. So I think that is it as far as what I can remember anyway from the system. Lots of cool stuff in this system. I want to really try it out, but um, the players in my game aren't really fond of arcane, or they're not really fond of spellcasters. I typically do get a healer, but I don't usually get somebody that is an arcane caster. So I will probably first see this tried out with whoever plays a healer next in my game. But at any rate, once I have seen this in action, I may come back and do a follow-up video on it, just letting you know if it plays out as well as it reads. But at any rate, I wanted to do a quick video on this system because I think it's great. Check it out on DriveThruRPG, again, under the Disciples of the Demon Lord. And That's really about it. So let me go ahead and wrap up this video. As I do with all my other videos, I want to thank Rob Schwab for being the Demon Lord and creating this game. I try to popularize the game and get it out there for other people to know what it's about. By doing these videos, I'm not a great video blogger because, I just I'm not good at it, but I do it because there's not a whole lot of other people doing this stuff for this game, and I want to get the game out there. So, if you like the video, if you like my videos, even if you can just tolerate my videos, go ahead and give me a like in YouTube. That helps my visibility. And if somebody does a search for Shadow of the Demon Lord, it helps it to come up more, closer to the top of the rankings. And also, in the comment section, feel free to leave me a comment if you want to see me do a video in a particular topic. Just throw it in the comments. I'll consider it. No guarantees though, but yeah, I'll think about it. If it's something I like, I'll probably do it. So at any rate, that's all for today. I promise. Thank you very much, and shout out to the Demon Lord. Hail, and catch you all in my next video.